Boom! What's up, fam? Anthony Johnson here today, co-founder of the Red Band Group, CEO of 21 Studios, 21 Convention, 22 Convention, 21 University, 10,000 other things on the internet. Here with 100% Toxic Masculinity today from our editing suite. I had some technical issues with StreamYard and browsers and bullshit, so I'm in the different office today. Anyway, before we get into today's show, a very special episode of the Red Man Group, where we're going to roast all these fraudulent fucking losers who pretend to be alpha males, but in real life are complete loser beta males. We're going to have a commercial where we talk about real alpha males at the 21 Convention. We're going to have a lot of alpha males, even the female there. You can see the superstar Janice Fiamengo on the right. At 22 Convention for the ladies, of course. We don't have any woman-splaining at 21 Convention. Anyway, it's 15-year anniversary coming up soon, 53 days out from today. It's going to be 3 conferences in one. We have the 21 Convention for men. You're going to see several speakers at that event on the stream today, including John Anthony from John Anthony Lifestyles and Alex from Playing with Fire. I'll be there, of course, too. We have the 21 Convention Patriarch Edition for fathers going on at the same time. A lot of savage speakers of fathers. And, of course, if you are a female and you have a tiny female brain, you should go to the 22 Convention, where we'll make you great again. Make women great again, been all over the news, all that crazy shit. And real media, too. We don't even pay for this. This is people that attack us, like Blaze TV, the New York Times, stuff like that. So come on out, have a good time. If you're a female, go to this event. If you're a man, go to this event. And if you're a father, go to this event. There is a early bird ticket sale going on until September 1st. So that's a couple days from now. Price goes up. And then a few weeks after that, in like middle of September, the price will go even higher. So the sooner you buy, the more you save. I appreciate it. That's it for the commercial. Please help me welcome to the show, Mr. Alex from Playing with Fire and John Anthony from John Anthony Lifestyles. What's up, homies?
How you doing?
Hey, man. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, doing pretty good. I'm excited to go into the fake and fraud fucking fiasco disaster of the century. Like you guys, I've been watching that shit go down, for a week and a half now or something like that. And it's so nice and amazing to watch, and it's like really it's very entertaining, Like,
yeah, dude.
So what are you guys' initial impressions of what happened? And for any fans too that haven't seen this, maybe you guys can go over some of the basics of what you've seen. I've been trying to keep up with it. There's so much delusional fucking crazy shit. It's hard to even keep up. It's like a train wreck happening in slow motion.
Yeah, my last 10 videos were on this shit. I need to get back to the dating content. But basically, I think the most fascinating thing to me is that they even got into this position anyways, and they're still going to have a huge following even after all this. But it really goes to show that anyone out there in the internet, with the age of the internet, can go online and say anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you look at some of my last thumbnails there, and they can get away with it even when they've been outed, and they can be outed all over YouTube and still get away with it. So, and they've just gone on camera with their defense. Oh yeah, we've never lied. We never scammed. There's objective evidence of them lying everywhere and scamming everything and just creating a whole fake image. Basically, for anyone that doesn't know the backstory, it's 2 guys that suck with chicks that went on and claimed to be ultimate experts with chicks, and then just regurgitated red pill nonsense. They're just parroting stuff from Rollo and Kevin Samuels, and just repeating that same stuff over and over, which is pretty toxic. And they're making like a big cult of men. Hate women, be confrontational with women, despise women, etc. And I speak to a lot of these guys on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I digest a lot of this content. I still don't get girls, but now I actually hate. They don't like chicks anymore. That not in the sense that like they're gay, but it's like a war they're making where like they're against female, and there's no reason to be like that. Guys that actually get hot chicks know that there's no reason to have this war, and that And now that it's coming to the forefront. I called them out immediately way back when they first came on the scene.
Oh yeah,
everyone called me a hater for 6 months and said I'm just jealous and all this crap.
I remember, John, we were talking before the show went, that when you and I first talked on one-on-one months ago, probably like February or March or whatever it was this year, I think you asked me about Fresh and Fit, and I had pretty much the same opinion as you. It's like I think Myron's kind of retarded, like autistic or spurgy or something, and they're both frauds. Like that's pretty obvious that they're frauds. And, we agree, but yeah, a lot of people bitched even at me, and I didn't even do whole videos on them, just comments like that. In fact, even in real life, I went to a Turning Point, college event back a few weeks ago in Tampa, and there was this huge, thousands of college students there for this conservative thing, right? And a lot of guys knew the channel. They knew me from YouTube, And a couple of them actually asked me at Fresh and Fit, which number one told me that they were pretty popular, but number two, they're like, what do you think about them? And I'm like, they're frauds, 100% loser frauds. And these kids that were in the young 20s were shocked I would say that. And I'm like, man, just, going to my, channel, you'll see some videos on it and stuff. I should have directed them to you, but, it was alarming that they were so shocked by that. And I can only imagine those kids I talked to that were like 21, 22 years old, they must be shitting bricks now because they remember talking to me, and never mind if they looked up your channel and seeing what fucking losers these guys were. But no one wanted to hear it, for months and months and months. Alex, what do you think about this too, man?
I think a good place to start is to give a rough timeline of events for anyone who's hasn't been following the drama, because it's like a full-time job to really keep up with all the shit.
Yeah,
it's highly entertaining. So let's first start off with why did Fresh and Fit take off? So both of them up until 7 months ago were completely unknown. So Walter Fresh, he was working in tech. Myron,
Wix.com.
Yeah, Myron was working in law enforcement and doing personal training sessions and whatnot. They started a podcast, was relatively unknown until they started having girls on. They actually had a pretty good idea of having a bunch of chicks on. The problem is that they also started teaching some bad ideas. Like, for example, that part of being a man is like, just getting overreactive and kicking chicks out for nothing. They also started creating a lot of fake drama because they realized that, that's what gets views, right? Like, people want to watch chicks get kicked out. And there's also panders to a lot of guys who are like not successful women and bitter and whatever, and just kind of perpetuates that. So that's kind of how it started. They exploded. They definitely became popular. Won't hold them against them. So their downfall, and John has been calling them out ever since. The downfall began with the whole Ab and Preach thing. So Ab and Preach are popular YouTubers, and they made one video criticizing some of the stuff that Fresh and Fit was saying. Specifically, it was Fresh was saying that, I don't pay for sex because I want burning desire from women. And Ab and Preach were like, well, dude, like, you're on Seeking Arrangement, and like, you're basically using your podcast to get laid. How's that burning desire? So they basically called out a little bit of criticism. Now, Fresh and Fit really fucked up by their response. So they said, well, we're so much better than you. We get way more views. You guys are losers. So they attacked them personally. They attacked Preach's wife. And then they said, we're going to challenge you to a boxing match, right? Yep. Then their second fuck up came when, then Preach said, okay, I accept. Then they fucked up by saying, actually, we're just going to lay off the YouTube drama. So they indirectly turned down the boxing match that they suggested. And their audience just completely lost on them because, like, I think that's one thing that their audience is smart enough to actually realize. Like, okay, you attacked a man's wife, you challenged him to a fight, and then you backed off. Like, they may not realize all the contradictions and all the scamming that's going on, but they realized that. And that's why they lost, I think, something like 40,000 subs in 48 hours, which literally might be a world record. I've never seen anything like that in the community. Yep. That's actually, it might be like an actual record. Like, I'd be curious to see that. And so then people started coming at them. And then there was a whole bunch of other things that happened. A bunch of girls started speaking out, like Anna Quinn, like, hey, yeah, Myron was like, doing this and that, and then some chick claiming that she's carrying Myron's baby. I'm not going to say whether that's true or not because I don't know. I don't know any of these girls. But they had an enormous amount of people coming against them, way more than someone should, which really begs, like, when there's smoke, there's usually a fire.
That's
Maybe
right.
The fire isn't what the people are claiming. Like, I'm a firm believer that the truth is somewhere in the middle, but even though the truth is somewhere in the middle, it's still pretty fucking bad. So then the whole thing culminated with one of their former disgruntled employees breaking in, and they're basically being almost a shootout.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, it came very.
I'm gonna pull that up real quick. John Anthony, you did a video response on that, right? Where is that?
Yeah.
The break-in. Here's the break-in. Yeah, this is pretty wild.
This is wild.
I mean, Myron pulled a gun on this guy, and he threatened. So legally, it's kind of complicated, and none of us are attorneys or like law enforcement, but this was dubious. But then Myron pulled a gun and invited this dude in, and I think threatened to kill him, which definitely negates any kind of self-defense claims.
Yeah, he said, come in. Yeah, he said, come in. It'll be the last time you live. Is what he said.
That's fucked, man. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if law enforcement gets in on this and like their building kicks them out. I mean, this is unbelievably fucking dumb. Like, just low IQ, dumber than a box of rocks, doesn't understand anything about the law. Like, common sense tells you if you want to have any kind of self-defense claim, not to invite someone in your house and threaten to kill them. Like, that just fucking so stupid, man. Unbelievable.
The thing is, I don't even think Myron is low IQ. I think Fresh is probably fairly dumb. Like, I don't want to be a dick, but it is what it is. I think Myron's actually above average IQ because he went to Northeastern. That's a pretty good university. You can't get in there. Like, I went to BU. That's, we're pretty similar. I think that he is so in his feelings, though, and he gets so emotionally worked up that his emotions override his common sense. So initially, if you watch that video, he was like, don't do it. Don't come in. It'll be bad. But then he got worked up. He's like, just come in, right? And again, like, I'm not even necessarily criticizing Myron's initial response, because if there's two big guys outside my door, I wouldn't come out either. I would be like, yo, like I probably would get my gun and say, don't come in. Right. But it's what he did after. But then they also lied and said they kicked down the door, which, was proven later to be completely false. We have video evidence of that.
Yeah.
It's like they kind of took a somewhat bad story and tried to spin it to suit their image, which is something I've seen them do time and time again. They take facts and they spin them, which is kind of what mainstream media does.
They tried to say Abba and Preach were responsible.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I wanted to pull this up too, though. So I do think Myron is more intelligent than Fresh. Like, Fresh is legit very dumb. Myron has done some dumb shit. I don't know, how low his IQ is, but I do really think that he's kind of spurgy or autistic. Like, when I met him, he had this vibe to him that was really awkward and really weird. And I see that today on the podcast, that when he melts down and he freaks out on these girls, some of that is intentional to stir up like drama, because everyone says they hate drama, but all these betas, they love drama, right? All these girls they can't fuck, they'll never fuck them. All these skanks in Miami, right? No offense, Alex, but there's plenty of
no, there's a lot of skanks in Miami.
Yeah. They find the skankiest fucking retarded hoes that all these betas can't fuck, these simps, and then they collect all these simps. But then he has these meltdowns that I think are signs of autism. Like you're saying, he's so up in his feelings. It's not even just effeminate. And Steve's on here too. Oh man, I didn't see Steve. Sorry, bro. Yo, Steve, what's up, man?
Yo, what's good? How y'all guys doing, man?
Doing good, man. I'm just making fun of how fucking retarded
Steve the Dean.
Yeah, how y'all doing? Steve the Dean.
I was going through the fucking Fresh and Fit clips extensively, and I saw they challenged you to a boxing match too.
Really?
I'd love to tell you that story, because I told him on Jump, if I can't cuss, can I? I was gonna F him up.
Oh, go ahead. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, well,
first of all, real quick, they called you that they're making fun of your weight. They said you were fat, bald.
Yeah. So I met Myron at the 21, and I sat right beside his cake ass when he like A1 was saying, Anthony was saying, he was timid, he was soft spoken. He was right beside me. Matter of fact, he was at the dinner table with us. And what happened from my point of view, what I saw was he kind of cheated the game, because he came in as a fitness instructor. He wasn't a quote unquote dating coach. He didn't know anything about women. He only knew about working out and stuff like that. So he got with another guy, D. I know I don't want to mention his name. The sharp guy. We'll just say sharp guy.
The sharp mama.
Sharp mama. Yeah. He got with Mamba, and Mamba hooked him with the Tomasis and all those other guys, where then he started mimicking their stuff to grab all their people in. And then the workout guy became the quote unquote dating coach all of a sudden, where he learned from the sharp guy how to create a studio. And he knows that guys like girls, so he'll put a few girls around and stuff like that. So we were on a show, and they start, because every time Myron says something, that's not his real name. You got his name.
Armor Funnel.
I just call whatever his name is. Whatever his name. So when was talking on Sharp Show, I kept nailing him, because everything he's saying was regurgitated. He was like a Rollo Tomasi.
Yep.
And I was like, man, that's full of bull. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Because I was calling him out. So on the back end, I said, look, I told him the guy, I said, look, you a effing fraud, and I'm gonna call your ass out every time I'm on the show with you. I'm gonna call you out for the fuck shit you doing. And then he ran to the sharp guy in the email, which I can show you, to say that you gotta kick Steve off because he's gonna mess up my brand. And that's what the sharp guy was about, the branding. So, but that's when he made the video talking about he wants to buy. He never challenged. I told him I was gonna get him on. Look, I'm not here to threaten myself, big brother. I was just saying I want to talk to him. I didn't say I want to hurt him, but I said I wanted to talk to him, basically. Yeah, without. But he then said that he challenged me to a boxing match. Yeah. Come on, man. But yeah, I'm fat, I'm old, and I'm bald, right? But I'm bald by choice, number one. And if you look at some of his videos, if you look at the back of his cranium right there, he's going bald himself. So it's all good, fellas.
Yeah.
Would you if it could be set up, you'd still box him?
Oh yes. I would do it. I'm a 50-year-old, but I still got a little bit left in the tank. Yes, I would do it.
I'm in Orlando. I'll box both of them at the same time.
Yes.
Both of
I
these
put up
losers.
$1,000 to see that fight.
I swear to God, I'll do it. If they're watching, I'll gladly do it. I'm in Orlando. You can come here. You're in Miami. I can come there. It's whatever. Both of these losers are like in middle school and high school. I used to see guys like this, right? And I got in fights with some of them because they would talk all this fucking shit, like all bark no bite. And when they get in a fight, they literally go down in one hit. Every time someone talks all this mad shit, they get hit once, they get hit in the nose or in the eye, and they fucking cry and they run away. I've seen this. I've done this, and when I was growing up in school, right? Now I'm not talking about some street fight. I don't want to get like legally in trouble, but we can find a boxing ring or whatever the fucking do illegally and film it. Like, let's do it live on YouTube. 100%.
You saw what happened with Preach. Preach accepted, and they went radio silent.
Of course, they apologized. Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't hurt me.
They showed the DMs. They said, "Hey, we're waiting. We're all this stuff. They're leaving them on red." So they talk a big game, but then they don't back it up.
Absolutely.
I don't do that. Like, I don't normally fucking threaten people to a boxing match, but when these losers do all this bullshit, they threaten all these people to fight. And then Abba and Preach, never mind Steve now, they're like, yeah, I'll fight you. And they run away like little fucking girls, man. Yeah. That one guy,
I'm not a big fan of the fighting shit, but definitely a big fan of debates. But they'll never debate anyone. They want to debate like chicks and shit. They'll never debate anyone who knows.
That's something that's amazing to me too, because they bring these like, you know, middle of the road IQ at best, you know, these skanks out of Miami, and I've seen him try to dunk on these girls. Like, where are your stats at? Where are your stats? It's like, dude, this girl's 23 years old, and just you found her on Tinder or something. Like, she doesn't have a fucking clue. Of course, she doesn't have stats to pull out of her ass. Like, all the only stats they do, they get from Rollo.
There's something that's very important to point out, which I think goes unsaid. So when a girl comes in the studio, they take their phones away. So the girls are at a huge disadvantage because they're pulling stats out. The girls can't fact check them. Yeah. That's no way to have a debate, right? You can pull out facts. I can't fact check you. I can't pull up with my own statistics, right?
And the reason they do that's because they're frauds. I mean, we got to just make it very clear. These dudes are literal con artists. Like,
yeah, they're trying to stack the odds in their favor.
Steve made an interesting point that I forgot. Myron was a fucking fitness guru in quotes. Again, he was no guru there either, but he was a fitness guy that got the idea to start teaching dating from fucking Rollo and Donovan.
Right. Yeah. It's a whole gaggle of these like birds, like this gaggle of losers and this gaggle of frauds. I view it as like a whole like little miniature mafia of like these posers. And I see, like we talked about previously, Rollo is at the top of all this. If you look at this whole network of frauds, they all suck Rollo's dick. It's a pyramid scheme, really. Rollo's at the top, like this pope of red pill fraud, right? And then he has these little underdogs that do his bidding and sell his book. And they all worship him like gods because they're all fatherless little weirdos that have no dad around. I mean, when's the last time you saw any of them talk about their? Now, I'm not saying if you didn't have a father growing up, whatever. I mean, being raised by a single mom's a bad thing, but like they scream to me like fatherless, broken mama's boys, like Donovan, like who's the biggest. I see. I've been thinking about lately like with Three Stooges, and I see Donovan, Myron, and Fresh CEO as like Three Stooges of three fucked up little boys who think that they're men, and none of them are men. They're all just fucked up little weirdos.
Did you see the new video of Walter? Did you see Walter's video?
Of what did he do now?
Grant Cardone one or
wait. Y'all haven't seen the video?
Which one?
Of Walter going on an interview and getting ate up.
I was trying to figure out if that was a deepfake or that was real.
It looks like. See, the thing about the game, you can tell who has game because game goes beyond just women. You can tell, just his language, his body language to that guy. You remember he was holding a little poodle. The thing is like thing. He's holding a cute little dog and stuff. Walter.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if that was a deepfake or not. It was funny.
No, it looked real. Grant was calling him Walter.
That was Grant. It was Grant Cardone. They did some interview or something.
Oh, you guys see that one? I'll send it to you.
Is it on YouTube? How do I pull this up?
On Kevin Ray Wilder's channel.
Yeah.
It's going to be the first.
Yeah, you got to check.
Kevin Ray Wilder. I'm pulling it up right now.
Because shout out to Kevin. He's been also, like John, he's been calling out Fresh and Fit like relentlessly for ages.
Yeah. Let's there it is.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you got to play this. You also like to have the audio play through the stream?
You guys hear the audio?
No.
No.
No audio. 1 second. I gotta enable
When you
it.
share the screen, there's a little checkbox to share.
Yeah. 1
Tell me
second.
if you guys think this is real. I'm like 50-50.
I'm
I
pulled
think
up right now.
it looks totally real to me.
It looks real to me. He looks like he's scared. That's what he
Oh,
is.
it does. It
Yeah,
does. Deepfakes are good though nowadays.
This water here, I wouldn't sell it over me. However, since you asked me, I will. This water here is very good for you. Has a lot of nutrients in it as well. However, at the same time, this water can be or not be important to you.
You know anything about bees?
Not particularly, sir.
Just bought this property in Nashville, and bees are swarming the property, creating honey. Honey's running down the post at the office. And they wrote me and said, hey, we have a serious problem with honeybees. And then they didn't tell me what the solution is. What can you do for me, man?
I can do a number of
You
things.
sound like a robot, dude. Now, you look like a good guy. But everybody in here has been a good guy so far, except for the first two people I cut this morning that were probably criminals.
Now might be a good time to try to save yourself.
Listen here.
Bee
Listen here.
makes more sense than
Here it comes.
Okay, currently, sir, I am developing my skills in sales. However,
we did a personality profile on you. Walter needs help with problem solving. What do I do about those bees?
first we need to research how to get rid of bees. And secondly, in
It
regard
says that he exudes ego strength and self-confidence. Do you see it?
How much money did you make last month?
$120.
$30 a week is what you made last month.
Yes, sir.
How much money did
I
you
mean,
make?
if you go to McDonald's 3 times, you're broke.
Doing the 10x rule, I really would like to make 100,000.
Yeah.
My goal.
Why 100,000, dude?
Done.
I get paid.
You don't have whatever it takes. Nice.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck to you, all right?
Thank you.
Okay. Good luck to you, man.
This
I
is
still
just-
think every company in America is going through it. We get worn out looking at resumes, so we end up hiring Walter, and then nobody shows up.
Hey, what?
This is hysterical. This just came out, dude. When was this filmed? Is this pretty recent?
No, it's gotta be old.
The show is old, but this
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out yesterday. I still think it's probably deep fake, but it's hilarious.
And this is the guy who says he's had sex with 1,500 women in 1 year flat.
Yeah, it's really possible.
He fucked up with 3 women a day, every day for a year straight. This is like massive con artists. I have videos actually. I was gonna do a whole takedown video on my own before this fiasco, just to kind of help usher along what John Anthony was doing. There's videos where Walter says he fucked like 500 women, and then he fucked like 1,500 women that are like a month apart, and it's like, bro, you fucked 1,000 women in a month. Like, this is people.
The laws are super ridiculous. Sometimes
They're saying he's 20 as well. In the fake press releases, they're saying he's 20 now.
Yeah, how old is he? What is the real age?
I don't know, but he's definitely not 20.
Yeah, he looks a little bit older than that. I don't know. What a shit show, man! What a fucking shit show.
And the new paid press releases that have been coming out the past month, they all say that he's a rising music star.
Yeah. Well, that's what ticks me off because, like, I have earned media for my company, like where we actually had the media come after us for real, and we didn't pay anyone to do it. And that does give you some level of authority or credibility
Yeah,
because,
sure.
like, you got to earn that shit. You know, you got to do something worthwhile for the media to attack you or support you or whatever. And they've done none of that. It's all fake. Like, I remember early on that when John was doing his videos, months ago, they were saying he was in Fox News and all this bullshit. And he wasn't. He could probably get sued for that by these companies for falsely reporting. It's not legitimate, right? When we do it at 21 Convention, it's
Well,
real.
it's fraud. I think technically it's fraud.
Yeah.
He's presenting himself to be this like esteemed authority, and at the end of the day, it's like what Napoleon Hill was doing and shit like that. The dude that wrote "Think and Grow Rich," he was just like giving out awards to famous people so he could appear next to them in newspapers, and all. He was saying that he was like that he came up with the quote, "There's nothing to fear but fear itself." Like, it's like just completely fabricating all kinds of outrageous shit. But the thing is that a bunch of people believe it.
Yeah. The old saying is there's a sucker born every minute, but I think in the manosphere we need to say that there's a simp born every minute. And all their fans that are left, I think the most intelligent ones at this point, the least dumb, they all have abandoned ship. And I think Alex was saying too, he's right, that they, let's pull this up. They've lost 50,000 subscribers in the past like 10 days. That's what you see here on Social Blade, which is, I've never seen that implosion in my life on YouTube.
Wow.
I mean, usually when people come after you, there's probably like 500, 600 response videos at this point, maybe more. Usually that grows your channel, right? Even if it's negative. This shit, they fucked up so hard. The media is so negative. It is so obvious that they're fucking losers that they're bleeding subscribers. Like, look, 10,000 in a day, 15,000 in a day, 6,000, 4,000, 3,000, 3,000, 1,000. I don't believe this 1,000 plus bullshit. That's got to be an error. 2,000 negative, 1,000, 1,000. Let's see how low they go today. Like, I'm amazed they're even still on YouTube. Do you guys have thoughts on that? Like, how are these fucking losers still on YouTube? Why are they not in jail or something?
Well, that's the thing. It's not like YouTube comes in and says, okay, they were faking a bunch of shit, shut the channel down. They can still exist, and tons of their followers aren't even aware of how deep this goes. Plus, they did a 5-hour Q&A giving a bunch of bullshit responses. So now all their fans think that it's just like a conspiracy against them.
Yeah, Rolo, I think, is the one spearheading that, by the way. He's coaching them. Someone was putting that for real. He's on the stream. Someone reported in the chat today here on the stream.
I saw that,
that he's on some other podcasts talking about coaching them what to do, like when I went after him, which I'm not even done yet, by the way. That motherfucker going down, son. Even more and more and more. But Rolo basically, he doxed over 50 guys in real life to a feminist reporter. He got outed with proof of this, objective fucking proof and evidence. And then he just fucking ignored it. And this is like the biggest treason I've ever seen in the manosphere. Even worse than fresh and fraud or fake and fraud. But then Rolo just kept playing along and nothing happened. It's like, dude, you're a massive fraud. These guys, I think, are going to burn, though. Like, they have pissed off, like, such a huge amount of YouTubers at this point that I think they're like piranhas that are just going to eat them alive now. YouTube piranhas.
And a community. Haiti's huge in Miami.
Yeah, that's right. Talk to me about that, Steve. I don't understand Black culture in America.
Well, the thing is that, you know, when you talk about Haitians, I mean, you don't mess with Haitians, Jamaicans. You don't mess with those. You don't talk bad about that community, because that community will come there. That's a come together community, and it's really large, especially in that area. So it's not even the two guys that they. I forgot that preaching.
Evan preach. Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know that, but what I do know is that that's why he was quick to apologize, because someone got to him and said, "Listen, when you're talking about one Haitian, or you're saying something about a Haitian, you're talking about a community of people, and they don't play by the rules of we're going to go to the police and write in a thing. If we see you, we're going to jump you and do some damage to you."
Yeah, what an amazing shit show, man. We'll see if is that why he got Walter bought a gun. Maybe that's why he bought a gun. Myron looks like he already had one.
Yeah, I do think that one, just to be objective, that one has been sort of dispelled, because there's proof of them. Like, again, like, I'm not a Fresh and Fit fan at all, but like, in their stream, they fucked up with defending a lot of things, but that's the one thing they were able to accurately defend, because there's a video of them like actually applying for the license weeks ago. So that one is like kind of a misnomer, but yeah, the other ones are pretty much true.
But Walter, that was his first gun. Like Myron Amor Fodol, or whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah.
No, but Walter applied for the license before the whole incident. That's what I'm saying.
But you don't need a license to buy a gun. To carry a gun, you need a license, but not to buy one.
I think it was a concealed carry license or something.
Yeah, that does take time. That's true. That takes a couple weeks. I have one too. Yeah, it's just weird timing on that he would show it off. That seemed intentional to show it off, and right in the middle.
That was super fucking dumb. Yeah, that was just pure stupidity.
But dude, what's crazy is like not that shortly after, fucking Amru was having to like brandish the gun when that dude was coming in to beat his ass.
Yeah.
And that could have turned out way worse. Imagine the dude walked in and he shot him or some shit. Fucking
best case scenario, their podcast is canceled forever. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, he's in jail for half his lifetime. But in terms of legality, that is very dubious. Again, obviously none of us are lawyers, but when you're taunting the person and encouraging, verbally saying, "Come on in," and it's caught on camera, like you can't go back and say, "Oh, I didn't say that." Yeah, that becomes very dubious. I think it could go really just would depend on the judge, the lawyers, and all that stuff. Like he could have easily spent half his lifetime in jail for that, for manslaughter charges.
Steve?
Yeah, no, I was just saying that what's weird is that they had the guy outside the door had someone filming him, and then Walter was filming Dudubador, and they were I don't know, because if it was a break-in, the door wasn't even broken. It was like as if I don't know if it was
They
real.
said it was, but yeah, they showed
It
it.
wasn't. Yeah, there's proof that the door was not locked.
Yeah, but why would you incriminate? See, why would you not only incriminate yourself but film you making threats if it was real? Because then if he left, all he do is call the police. Here's the footage, and he's arrested. Somebody's getting arrested, but it's odd nobody's getting arrested right now. No, nothing's happening.
I've seen the video. John did a breakdown because the dudes who came there, they did a video too, and that door was unlocked. He just grabbed it and opened it, and he walked in a couple feet, and then he backed out. And yeah, so what Myron did, I think what Myron did is probably brandishing a weapon. I'm not an attorney or law enforcement, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
And threatening to kill somebody if you're inviting him in, that's all in video too. I mean, he incriminated himself in a serious crime involving a weapon. And he's a former agent for Homeland Security or some shit. Like, I got to say, too, his handling of a firearm is absolutely fucking retarded. Never mind the whole situation. Like, this guy has no idea what he's doing with a firearm. Whatever he did for Homeland Security had nothing to do in the field or, like, with weapons. Nothing. He's probably some paper pusher for bullshit in an office somewhere in Miami. So let's cover a few more issues here. So let's talk about the simp response, the beta male police that have been coming out. Now, for fresh and fraud or fake and fraud, they have been dying down because the public is so against these fucking losers. But you still see simps even now. You probably have them on your channel, John, and maybe Alex too, right? They still fucking come out and they still bitch at you. So have you seen that, John, on your channel? Like, what do you think about that?
I think it's hilarious. Guys will say like, "Oh, you count the number of girls you slept with, you're a simp. You live with 3 Brazilian girls, you're a simp." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You get your dick sucked. Yeah.
I think a lot of guys, it's like a power trip thing. If they're jealous of somebody or something like that, or they want to like make up for it. It's cognitive dissonance at its finest. These guys aren't getting shit; they're jerking off every night, and they see a guy getting a ton of chicks. How can we call that guy a simp? Oh, he's a simp because of this, because he's living with girls.
But I mean the simps for fake and fraud. Like even though there's